They say Atlantis disappeared in a single day. But what if it never vanished at all? What if it was hidden on purpose? Atlantis, a mysterious city, was described by Plato over 2,300 years ago. But this isn't a fantasy. Today, we're looking at it as a serious scientific possibility, backed by names, maps, and real studies. From Mauritania to Greece, from 16th century charts to satellite imagery. A strange pattern is beginning to appear. Maybe Atlantis was real. Everyone knows Plato wrote about Atlantis in Timaeus and Critias, but few realize Plato wasn't the original source. He got the story from Solon, a Greek statesman who visited Egypt around 590 BCE. There, a priest at the temple of Sais told him, "You Greeks are like children. You remember nothing." Then he spoke of a mighty empire beyond the Pillars of Hercules, a civilization that became arrogant and was destroyed by the gods. In 2018, American researcher Jimmy Corsetti published a visual analysis connecting the Eye of the Sahara, also known as the Richat structure, to Plato's description of Atlantis. 3 circular rings, a central island, and dimensions almost identical, about 9 kilometers across. Strange? It gets deeper. Climate studies and satellite imagery show that the Sahara wasn't always dry. It was green, full of rivers, lakes, even elephants. Greek historian Herodotus even drew a map with a river flowing through that area. Coincidence? Or buried history? In 1513, Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis drew a map of the world. One detail still puzzles historians. It shows the southern coast of Antarctica without ice. But Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820. Researcher Charles Hapgood studied the map and found that the coastline closely matched data collected by the U.S. Air Force's satellites. Did Piri Reis copy from older, forgotten maps? Maps drawn before the last ice age? And if so, who made them? When international researchers tried to excavate the Richat structure, funding was denied. The site is under Mauritanian government protection. It isn't considered an official archaeological zone. Yet, no deep excavations are allowed without top-level clearance. Meanwhile, millions are spent on digs elsewhere, places with far less geometric precision or historical clues. Why the silence? Why the restrictions? Maybe Atlantis wasn't just a lost city. Maybe it was a pattern, a warning. Civilizations rise, they grow arrogant, and then they fall, again and again. We keep telling the story, not to remember Atlantis, but to prepare for what comes next. What if the real question isn't where Atlantis was, but how many times it's happened before? And what if we keep calling it a myth, simply because it's easier than asking what else we've ignored?